Okay, hello everyone. Today we're going to be doing an analysis of Cloud9. Now, I know what some of you guys might be thinking of Cloud9. They're kind of on the downswing as of recent. They barely scraped a win versus NRG. They've been kind of losing a little bit to Crew, Sentinels, whatever, but no matter what you feel about these teams, you have to give Cloud9 props because they are one of the best teams in terms of ecos and thrifties, which can be very powerful if you're going 50-50 in gun rounds, right? If you're able to win these ecos, you can completely swing the tide of the emotions of the enemy team or the pacing of the game. So obviously Furia won the first round. They're on attack. Cloud9 are on defense. And so what would you do here if you were Cloud9? The best thing that you can do is one, develop a plan, right? You don't want to go into these rounds mindless. Now, that goes for anything. I know a lot of ranked players just like to 2-1-2, but if you're doing that on Nico round, you're doing it wrong. The problem with doing a 2-1-2 on defense is obviously you're just going to get mowed down and then have to play retake with your sheriffs, and it's just going to be really bad. It's better to just play together, maybe even damage the economy of the enemy team, force them to use a little bit more utility so that they have to keep buying more, or even in this case win the round and then completely flip the economy of the game, and Cloud9 end up running away with the game. So develop a plan. They're going to end up stacking 4 people here on C. Vanity's going to be able to smoke that one way from the other side of the map, which is really useful. This is the best gamble stack that you could have. They end up getting a pick on Havoc, who swings too far out of the one-way smoke. So, what is the natural reaction from Furia? Well, they see 4 people here. They saw a Gecko blind. No, they didn't see a Gecko blind, but they saw 3 people here. So, what is the natural reaction that you would have as an enemy team? Well, you don't want to keep fighting this. This one way is really bad to fight. So, they're obviously going to rotate to A. And Vanity recognizes this. He's a great IGL. He's going to delay the push, delay the lurk from Conan with the smoke, and he's going to call his whole team to rotate to A. You just really want to do these gamble stacks on defense. If you're ever on an eco round, this is probably the best thing that you could do. 2, you're going to want to rotate really quickly, right? You don't want to play retake with your disadvantaged guns. Playing retake is probably one of the worst things you could do in an eco. It's just terrible. And at that point, just die to the bomb so you don't give the enemy teams ult orbs to cycle. Now, obviously, this hit is going to come through. You don't want to be worried about a C re-hit, because this is the natural response. It's generally unlikely that the enemy team is going to go for the re-hit, especially when they know that you're probably gamble stacked, right? Because you literally just were. They saw you, 3 people there. Cloud9, once they hear that the enemy team is out, they're not going to give the enemy team any time to breathe in terms of planting the bomb. As soon as they hear the bomb plant, we're going to see the Gecko flash. We're going to see 4 people come out of pit, out of heaven. They're all just going to spray each other down. Sheriff's going to come through. Again, the hero rifles, not the hero rifles, but the hero guns. You're going to run a little bit of risk when you buy these sheriffs, but a lot of reward because of the one-tap potential. It's going to be a 4v1. Rudy's going to end up dying, and then Vanity's going to trade him. Okay, so in this round, so we're still on Lotus. Instead of being on defense, we're on attack. And the great thing about being on attack on an eco is if you get the bomb down, you're not really even on an eco. You still have a lot of that potential to win the round because of the money that you gained from planting the bomb. Okay, so in this round, we see that Zeppa has $50 to his name, but he doesn't have a gun or utility to back it up. This isn't a spectator bug. This is funneling all of our resources into our duelist player to give us the best chance of being able to win the round. Now that Oxy has light shields and a guardian, he is able to take fights that are a lot more even for him than they normally would be if everyone on his team bought equally and each bought a sheriff or and half shields, right? This can cause some risks for the team that is spending so heavily. Obviously, if they lose this round, Zeppa is going to have a real hard time in terms of economy because he's going to have to full save this next round, and it makes it very hard to win that third round, leading to what could be a snowball for the defensive side on Loud. But we are able to use all of this money for Oxy so that we can potentially win the round, and that's what ends up happening. We see like a 1 or a 2-1-2 default, right? The loud players smartly back up once they start hearing the returning shots of a Guardian. Obviously, since one of them has a Spectre and the other has a Ghost, it's probably not very smart to make these aggressive decisions when you could lose both of your guns, lose a bunch of map control, and then lose a Spectre. What we're going to see here in this round is that Zeppa is going to take the first contact, which is very good. The reason that this is so good is Zeppa is able to, well, die, which isn't a good thing, but he's able to get traded out by, I think it's Rooney here. Yeah, Rooney's going to trade him out. This normally would be about an even trade, a little bit favored for the attackers, but in terms of an eco round, this could be very good because, well, obviously it creates a hole in the defense, but usually sometimes you can get the gun off of QCK. Now, we're not going to be able to get the gun until it's not important anymore. Moose is going to pick it up later into the round, but at that point, it's really not that important. But the idea is there. So we still have a bunch of these short-range guns. We have classics, which can be used in these medium to long ranges, but generally is best in these close-range gunfights like here on B. Seekers is a great place to use the classic because of its right-click, the damage that it can cause during a right-click. So we're going to see that Oxy's going to open the door. We're going to see an Omen blind come in from B main because he's still trapped in B main. Sadak realizes he's probably not in the best position because he's going to have to fight a Guardian, and 3 people potentially, a room bot, and he just has a ghost, so he's forced to come back. So they've lost a bunch of this map control, which is very good for C9. They're in the advantageous position. They have this lurk up from Moose. He's not going to end up getting anyone, but he's going to hear the rotation come in from Cow and Zine. In fact, I don't think he does, but it's fine. We have a lot more map control than the enemy team. We've completely destroyed them in terms of map control, and this is all on the round where we have significantly less money than them. Right? We have significantly less resources, but we're still able to pull out. We're just going to go back a little bit. I wanted to point this out too. A really good strategy that you can use on these eco rounds is comboing your utility. It does not matter how much armor or health that you have, you will die to a nade and a snake bite no matter what happens, right? So in the case of Sadak, who's going to get trapped here in the smoke, he gets trapped in the corner by the nade, and then the snake bite does extra damage to him, and he falls to this nade. So now we are in a 4v3. Time is running low. We don't really want to plant on B because it's pretty dangerous, right? It's very easy to retake. Plus, Moose has gained up all this map control, and we don't think less is here. But the important thing is we're still here to trade. Let's say Vanity was here to go down, and he did end up dying. We would still have Moose to come in with his ghost and fight back. Now, Vanity ends up cleaning up less. Now we're in a 4v2. And like I talked about before, again, a little bit of the hero stuff on an eco, right? You do need, like, one player to kind of step up in some cases, and that's Oxy in this case, where he gets a 3K in the last 2 picks. We have successfully swindled Loud, and we have run around that we normally wouldn't have.